Hello and a very good morning to all of you. I welcome you all to my next online class, and today I am taking the fourth chapter of your main course book Flamingo. The name of the chapter is Rattrap, and this is written by Salma Lagerlof. Before I come to the chapter, let us know a little about the author. Salma, she was best known for her story, The Rattrap, and it was published in late 1800. Selma Ottilia Lovisa Lagerlöf was her full name. She was a Swedish author and teacher. She was born on 20 November 1858 in Sweden, and she died on 16 March 1940 in Sweden. She published her first novel, Gosta Berling Saga, at the age of 33. She was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize in Literature, which she was awarded in 1909. Lagerlof's most popular book today is a remarkable. The name of the book is The Wonderful Adventures of Niels, and it was written in 1906. Now let us come to about the story. The main character of the story is Rattrap Seller. He is known by various names in the story. He is a tramp, a vagabond. Tramp and vagabond. These are the same words having the same meaning. It means a homeless person who sells his things by roaming from one place to another. Stranger, who is not known to anyone, and peddler is a small person who sells a small goods. This rat-trap seller is poverty-stricken. His clothes are always seen in rags. His cheeks are sunken, and hunger is gleaming in his eyes. His profession is begging, but as he was not able to meet his both ends meet by his begging, he started thefts also. And his main work was to make the rat traps and to sell the rat traps. This you can see the picture of the rat trap. Rat trap is that thing where a bait is there to attract the rats. The rat sees the bait, goes inside and tries to pull the bait. So as soon as the rat pulls the bait, the door of this rat trap is closed and he is also enclosed inside the rat trap. So one day what happens? This rat trap peddler, he was going from one place to another along with bundle of rat traps on his shoulders in order to sell them. So while he was going, a very entertaining thought comes into his mind. The thought was, the whole world is a big rat trap with lands and seas, cities and villages. And as in the rat trap, the bait is a cheese or pork or a piece of chapati. But for human beings, in this rat trap, which is a world for them, the baits are riches, joys, shelter, food, heat and clothing. So once a man is caught in this bait, he goes in the depths of this, and this is very impossible for him to come out of this rat trap now. So while he was selling the rat traps, it became dark. He wanted to spend the dark night somewhere. So he took a shelter in a cottage where an old person was living. This person was a crofter. What is a crofter? Crofter means a small farmer. This crofter was lonely. He was not having his wife or children, and he welcomed the rat trap seller into his home. He was so happy that somebody has come and he can talk to someone. He shared his supper of porridge with him. He shared his tobacco pipe with him, and after that, both of them played majolis. Majolis is a game of cards. He was so generous to this peddler that he shared all his confidences with him. He told him his whole story, that he is putting himself by a cow. Last month he got 30 kroners from Creamery. Means kroner is what? This is a Sweden currency, official Sweden currency. So even he showed the guest means the peddler here, who is a stranger here, that where he had kept the money. He was sharing everything with him. Here you can see the money is kept in a pouch, and this pouch is hung on a window. So the peddler was also listening as well as seeing all these things. So next morning, both of them, after taking the breakfast, they went to their own places. But the peddler was having something bad into his mind. After some time, again he was out the house. He smashed the window pane and he took all the money from the pouch, and he kept the pouch there only. So as he was having the money, that too the stolen money, he couldn't dare to walk on a public highway. So he kept to the woods and he lost his ways there. No, he was trying to come out, but he was not able to come out and find the way. This was a very big and a confusing forest. Very strange paths were there. These were twisted paths, and he was walking and walking. And after some time, he was coming to realize that he has come to the same point once again. So the whole forest was looking like a impenetrable prison to him. Now he thought that this is a time that he himself has been caught by the bait. What was the bait for him? The bait was the pouch which was having the money in the pouch. So he was attracted by that money. He stole that money and now he was caught. So he was totally disappointed because he was not able to find the way out. So at last, seeing no hope to find the way out, he sank down to the ground and he was sure that his end is quite near now. So he started waiting for his end now. As he was about to sink down to the ground, he heard the sound of hammer strokes, and this he could make realize that there was an iron mill. There must be people nearby. Yes, he mustered all his courage. He summoned all his strength and started going to the direction of the sound of the hammers. He reached there, and this was a Ramsjo Iron Works. This was a large plant with smelter, rolling mill, and a forge. Let us know what these terms define. Smelting is a process of applying heat to ore in order to extract a base metal. Rolling is a process in which metal is passed through one or more pairs of rolls to reduce the thickness and to make the thickness uniform. The concept is similar to the rolling of dough. Next one is forge. Forging is a manufacturing process involving the shaping of metal. The blows are delivered with hammer, and these are open and the very powerful hammer strokes. Now next term is big bellows. Bellow is a shoveling charcoal into the maw of the furnace. Maw is what? This is a large opening. Through this opening, all the charcoal or other apparatus is put into the furnace. So these are all the terms which are used here. The Rattrap seller reached there and he asked permission to stay there. And the black master smith, without even looking at her, he nodded that he can stay there. Because this was not the first time that some had come. Every day, everyone, so many persons used to come and asking for the permission. So he gave permission to him too. So this was a night when the owner of this iron mill, he was coming at the night time for inspection. When he sees this stranger into his mill, he mistakes this stranger to be his old regimental comrade, whose name was Niels Loff. So he invited him to his house. This vagabond was having some guilt into his mind. So, thinking that it would be like throwing himself into the lion's den, he was worried also about the money which he had stolen. So, he was refusing that he is not ready to come. He refused the invitation again and again. So, the ironmaster went back. But after some time, Adla Wilmanson, who was the daughter of this ironmaster, she arrives in the mill into her carriage. She straightway came to this peddler and she realized that the peddler was afraid on seeing her. She was able to realize also that either he has stolen something or he has escaped from the jail. But he didn't make it realize to the peddler. Simply he said to the peddler, I'm so sorry, Captain. You are having a hard time. Please stay with us over Christmas Eve. You will be allowed to leave us just freely as you come. The peddler could never judge that the daughter, such a beautiful girl, will be coming to invite her, so he couldn't refuse at this time. And the daughter too was inviting her in such a friendly manner and gave confidence to the Rattrap peddler. And he accepted the invitation at this time. So the peddler came to the ironmaster's house, and next day was 25th of December, that is Christmas Eve. The stranger was given the clothes of the ironmaster. The wallet bathed him, cut his hair, and shaved him. And now he was a totally changed person. So the ironmaster at this time was waiting for him at the breakfast table. But as the door opened and this peddler came, he was made to realize that this is not the person he was thinking. This is something else, someone else. So he thought, I have made a big mistake. So he started giving so many things, so many accuses to the peddler. He said, you are not so honest. If I was mistaken, you could tell the truth. You could tell that you are not the captain, my old regimental friend. The peddler was also there to lose his temper. He said, Sir, the whole world is a big rat trap, Mr. Ironmaster. One day will come when you will also be caught in this rat trap. Today this is my turn. I have been caught, but one day will come, you will also be standing at the same position. Sir, this is not my fault. I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader. But what harm has been done now? At first, I can put on my own clothes again and I will go away from here. Don't worry, sir. In between, Adla Wilmanson spoke. She said to her father, Father, he walks alone the whole year, always afraid of being arrested. He is not welcome anywhere. I would like him to enjoy a day, just one day the whole year. So the ironmaster couldn't say anything to the daughter. He only said, but I only hope that you won't have to regret at your this decision. So the daughter said, yes, father, we ought not chase away a human being. The human being who was asked by us to come, and we also have invited him to enjoy the Christmas Eve. So the father also gave his consent there. So in the evening, the whole house was decorated, the Christmas tree was decorated, A very feast type food was given to him. The peddler was not disturbing anyone. The whole day he was sleeping, he was coming only for the meal, and again he was sleeping. So when the day was over, at the night, he came to the daughter. He said that now the day is over. Thank you so much that you allowed me to spend a night, and that also a very beautiful night here. So he wanted to give back the suit which was given to him after Ironmaster. But the daughter said, the suit is a Christmas present. You can spend next Christmas Eve also here, and you can rest in peace. You are welcome back here anytime, any year you want to come here. So I want to tell you the story here, what happens. So next morning, the peddler was also thinking that the next early morning he will go from here. But before he could arise next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter, they went to the church for the Christmas scene. So the peddler was all alone here and he was sleeping at the time. At the church, both the father and the daughter, they came to know that a Rattrap peddler, he has robbed an old crofter. The ironmaster was very furious. He was furious with the daughter also, because due to the daughter only, the peddler was allowed to sit and to stay into their house. He was thinking the peddler would have accepted all the silver and other valuables from their house, and he may have vanished by the time they reached back. So he very hurriedly came back, and very first thing they asked the servant about this person. But the servant told that he has gone, but he has left behind a little package for Miss Wilmanson, which contained a rat trap, three wrinkled 10 kroners notes, and a letter. The gift was so badly wrapped that the moment the daughter took it into her hands, she could find out that what were the various things there. So the daughter was very curious to read the letter, that what was written there. In the letter it was written, honored and noble miss, since you have been so nice to me all day long, as if I was a captain, I want to be nice to you in return, as if I was a real captain. For I do not want you to be embarrassed at this Christmas season by a thief. But you can give back the money to the old man on the roadside, who has a money pouch hanging on the window frame as a bait for the poor wanderers. The rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap if he had not raised to captain, because in that way he got power to clear himself. Written with friendship and high regards, Captain Von Stale. So here the story ends, and now the with the help of the Ironmaster's daughter, his kindness, his sympathy, the attitude of the peddler was totally changed, and now he was a new sort of a person. Now I want to talk to you regarding the type of the questions, the important questions which can come in your board examination. The four important characters can be of Adla will mention, Ironmaster, Rattrap Peddler, and the Crofter. So when a character sketch is there, how you are supposed to write? First you have to write the name of the character to whom you are going to describe. Then about the physical appearance, about the adjectives and adjectives only. You have to support the examples from the text also regarding this person, and you have to write down the full character sketch. For example, shortly I'll be telling you, if you are asked to write the character of Adla Wilmanson, first you will write the name whose character sketch you are going to write. Then you will write about the facial features, that she was very pretty, modest, and quite shy. She was exceptionally kind. She was wide and perceptive. She was kind, gentle, and hospitable. She, despite her knowledge about the peddler's intentions, she treated him with respect and feeds him well. He was able to rise to the level of the captain, leaving his temptations aside, just because he didn't want to let her as well as himself down. Her kindness and caring nature transformed the unscrupulous vagabond into a good human being. She is most positive figure in the story, and her compassion and generosity are the reasons for the peddler's transformation. So this is how you can write the character sketch of Adela Wilmanson. Next can be the character sketch of Ironmaster. First you can tell who was he. He was the owner of the Ramshaw Ironworks. He was rich. His greatest ambition was to ship out good iron to the market. He was not very observant. He was not a good judge of the character. He mistakes a Rattrap seller as his old friend. He tried to help him. He didn't insult him because of his worn out condition. But when he realized his mistake, he was angry with the poor man. He wanted to throw him out of the house. Nevertheless, on his daughter's request, he behaved nicely with the peddler too. Next can be the character of the Rattrap peddler. This is also one of the very important characters. So here you can mention the metaphor which comes into his mind while he was on his way to sell the rat traps. Then you can write who he was. He was a poor vagabond wearing shabby ragged clothes. He was selling rat traps to earn a very livelihood. At times he resorted to petty thefts also. He considered the whole world as a big rat trap and all men and women as rats, vulnerable to be trapped by various types of baits. But he himself was trapped in this rat trap when he stole 30 kroners of the old Crofter. At the end, he was there to transform himself and return the stolen money to the crofter through Adela Wilmanson, who was the daughter of the Ironmaster. He gives back what he gets. So next can be the character of the old crofter. First, you can explain who is the old crofter. A crofter was someone who rented a small farm with a plot of land and living in a house on it. A tenant farmer who paid his tenancy with manpower instead of cash. He is the old person who lets the peddler spending the night into his house. He is very lonely and is very glad to have the company of the peddler. He shares his food, tobacco, and all his secrets with him. He is very kind and generous with him. But the peddler, he repays his generosity by stealing 30 kroners from him after the crofter shows him where he keeps the money. That is, the money was kept into a pouch. So the next important question can be comparison between Ironmaster and his daughter Adela Wilmanson. In the story, there are several instances that show that the character sketch of the Ironmaster was totally different from that of his daughter. So here you can write down the examples where the Ironmaster is behaving different and to the same situation the daughter is behaving different. So these will be the various points here. So in the end you can say that the essential goodness in a human being, that is here in this story, the Rattrap Paddler, was awakened through understanding and love of Adler will mention. He was able to redeem himself with the help of sympathy and generosity of the daughter. That's all about today's story. Thanks a lot for watching this presentation.